Hello there, my name is Wokianaru and welcome back for another round of Painter Simulator. So now we have the easy way. Let's go with the persistence of memory. That seems fun. They all look so different in the way that they have them done. But it's kind of interesting in my opinion. Where's the door? 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 There's the door. Door. Meow. Bam, 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 bam. Really? Oh my God. 46 colors. Wow. You know what? The persistence of memory is a decently colorful picture. It is a decently colorful picture. I'll give it that. Come on. So yeah, if you don't know the painting the persistence of memory, here's a little hint for you. It's the one with all the strange melting clocks. It's... Who painted it? Was it Dali? I don't think it was Dali. Who painted the persistence of memory? Because they keep throwing some good ones at us. I think the persistence of memory was painted by Salvador Dali. I gotta check, even though it'll probably tell me in the end. Yeah, it was painted by Dali. Okay. That's what I thought. I know art. I'm proving myself. To all you art lovers out there, I'm proving myself. That's what I'm doing right now. Is proving that I do in fact know art. Sort of. I don't know art. I know the basics. I know the basics of art. But I do not know the, like, extreme crap. Honestly, if I were to go and like look at my library, I probably still have some books from different art type classes that I had to take in college. Because like I mentioned, that one class, that very specific class, which I enjoyed. That's where that came from. Where the shield came from. That was my final project for that class. And I enjoyed doing it. Because at first it was... I'll be honest, I did not do the base of it. So the very, very base of it, it was the actual round shield part, the center boss, which is that metal bit in the middle, and then on the back it's got your center grip handle. I didn't do that. It was actually I was in a group for a long time, actually. Not as long as I was in Scouts, but for a decently long time, called the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronisms. And I've explained it before. It's the group that I did sword fighting with. And so, you know, if depending on your fighting styles, you use shields, you'd use a shield. And I personally, when I was a youth fighter, I didn't use a center boss shield. That's actually my dad's old shield. And the funny thing is that shield, it was basically, he was moving on to a new one because you use a shield long enough and, you know, it gets worn down, it gets broken. And especially depending on the way a person holds their shield, it very much impacts that. So I'm gonna grab it real quick. You probably won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to know what I'm talking about a little bit more. Which bit is it? So like I said, it's got this grip, which he had like hockey tape and whatnot on. Where was it? Oh, here. This bit is cracked to absolute hell. It's cracked to hell and it's soft. The wood there is soft because that was when he would fight, he would have it held up like this. So if you throw a like sword at him and he catches it like that, over time you're gonna get that bit there. I promise these are actually shorts. They're not just they're not just like underwear. My sword is falling. There we go. But that entire outer bit, he had it done in like a hose. I want to say it was like a. There's a lot of work that goes into those sorts of things, figuring out what works best, and sometimes it is just reconfiguring things that are meant for other things. And what he used was a hose that went around the outside of it, because you know you take a length of hose, you make one long slit in it, and then you go and you wrap it around. But I took that off. I drilled holes around it so it's more traditionally Nordic, that it's wrapped in hide, and the string that's holding it in is like this leather string. But there's actually a there's another length of rope within it, like under that leather hide bit, that's kind of like it makes sure, because it was like I took it and glued it down to the wood, the shield bit, and it's making sure that hide bit stays in place. And then I took in, I think his color was like a dark green. That was like his tunic that he wore over his armor and whatnot was a dark green, and so his shield was a dark green. And I took and I repainted it. I repainted the back of it black, the front of it black, and then gave it the Helm of All on it. If I remember right, absolutely no one did anything like that, and she was like, this is a first for me. Like, the professor that I had for that class was like, this is a first for me. I don't know how I'm supposed to grade this. And I mean, because lots of people do lots of different things. The professor that taught it was like, you know, you'd have professors that had multiple jobs, but her second job, like, or I think I'd call it her main job, honestly, was she ran the, like I was talking about, there was the scene shop, you know, where you went in and we built the scenes for whatever plays were done at the university. She was the one that ran the costume shop. So she made all the clothing and whatnot for the actors, depending on, like, if new clothing need to be made or adjustments needed to be made to old costumes to fit people. She was the one that ran all that. So you got a lot of people coming in with I want to say mine. I mean, we weren't a huge class. We had several different people that did some old recipes. We had a couple people that did old style clothing. I want to say there was 1 or 2 people that did sort of models, like you know, architecture minis. The ones that they display before they actually build it. I don't remember. That was literally like first or second year of college. So that's been a while. My college career was very strange. It was very non-traditional. And actually, I got an email. I got emails constantly from some like different, like literally the department that was like whatever. It had like they had multiple names, and one of them was non-traditional students. Since I broke up my years in college. Overall, I'd say I had a decent college experience. I mean, would I go back for a master's? No. Would I go back for a doctorate? Hell no. I have my bachelor's and I'm good with that. The strange thing is, I don't even know why I never considered getting an associate's before I got my bachelor's, but I didn't. So I have the 1 degree. And hey, that's more degrees than some people have. And more degrees than a lot of places need, so, you know. So I will say I am not pro or anti-college. Because I know there are definitely some people that are. There are definitely some, especially a lot of YouTubers. 95% of the YouTubers I say that I watch are like college dropouts. So, because they, you know, started picking up during their time in college or something like that. So most of them are college dropouts, but I would say it is a decision in life that a person, well, I mean, it's a big decision that you do have to make. You will eventually have to make it. Even later in life, I mean, there's still plenty of people that go back and get a degree later in life. I want to say we had, in my graduating class, there was a gentleman there that was 75. I think he was 75 and he was getting his bachelor's degree that day. During my commencement, which is, you know, the ceremony in which you go to and get your degree. I will say this. I'll say this. I don't even think it's controversial, but everyone does need some base level of education. So high school, I think, is very much is pretty necessary. if not for the education, but for the, I know I went to a public school, so I have a completely different opinion on private schools, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to have said opinion on private schools because I went to a public school. But it's one of those situations where you get thrown into a very diverse scenario. There's so many different kinds of people when you go to a public school, and you're just like, okay, I'm here, I'm dealing with this. This is just part of life. And I do have to say, I think a lot of jobs do at least would like you to have a high school education. There's that old saying of like that parents say, that whole like, you gotta finish high school or you be flipping burgers the rest of your life. Which, hey, if you want to do that, you do you. You do you. We gotta have somebody that do that. The funny thing is there's literally one of my favorite shows of all time is Supernatural. I will say I like that. That is one of my favorite shows of all time is Supernatural. Melting Clocks were inspired by Camembert cheese. Really? They were inspired by cheese? That's great. Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog. I don't know if I know this one. But there's a line that a character says. He's like a random character that shows up for, I want to say, all of one episode in Supernatural. And he's a guy that works at a diner, but he's like the son of, like, I don't remember if he's like the son of a demon and a human or something like that. But he says that, you know, if you can make a good burger, you can get a job anywhere. Because he was talking about his exploits in travel, that he's been to so many different places, and the guy he was talking to was like, that's impressive. He's like, yeah, if you can make a good burger, you can get a job anywhere, so. And I do have to say, that is one for cooks to consider. If you can make good food, you can get a job. You can get a job so many places. I mean, even if it's some, you know, little diner or whatever, then you can get a job. I mean, and like with that very specific like example, the guy used that talent he had to like explore. He was like half the world or some crap like that, because he could, you know, he was a good cook, so he could go places and get a job there and work there while he was, you know, exploring that area. It's kind of interesting. It's a cool thing to consider. I'm a good cook, but I'm not that good of a cook in the sense of, I like cooking for myself. I will cook for myself. I have some pretty strange recipes that I like to cook for myself, and especially ones that like I cooked, especially when I like lived on my own and whatnot, and even not on my own, that I cooked on pretty regular basis, because some of them were easy to do. They were fairly cheap. I'll say that they're pretty cheap, and for literally a guy living on his own, you know. I will say one of literally my favorite things to do is mac and cheese. And when I make mac and cheese, I don't make just here's your box of mac and cheese, either with like the powder or with the crappy like whatever cheese, the processed, that stuff. I mean, either one of them's processed, but what I did was every single time I make mac and cheese, I don't just make it by the box, like by the instructions on the box. I do I do make it. I make it as per the instructions, just to get the mac and cheese ready, but then I add a bunch of stuff to it. There's always loads of different extra like spices and whatnot. I add those. I always add loads of extra cheese as well. Like I will get a different kind of cheese, like different kinds of cheese, and add those into it. And then I will add, normally I'll do probably the easiest thing, but you can do it other ways. But the easiest thing to do is take a can of chicken, like a canned chicken that you get at the grocery store, and drain that and whatnot, and then break it up and put it in there so that you have it. I will say it is a very heavy dish, because by the time you think of, okay, mac and cheese, that's either like a side to something or whatnot, but by the time I'm done with it, you have this bowl of mac and cheese that's like super cheesy and flavorful, and it's also got like meat in it, so you have some protein, and it's a very heavy dish. Do I know this? Okay, that's a guy. That's obviously a guy. That's a person. I don't think I know this one. I don't recognize this. The rock on which the Wanderer stands, as well as the other mountain peaks, are likely inspired by the summits of the Saxon Switzerland region, Kaiserkrone, Gamerick, and Wolfsburg. Yeah, I don't recognize this painting. If anyone else recognizes the painting, go ahead and, let me know, because I don't recognize it. So this is our final painting. The Scream is our final painting. If you want me to go do those free paint things, go ahead and let me know, and I'll do them. I'll go in and I'll do them. I think I said this before, that I might do them because I want to get into. I kind of slowly stopped focusing, because I was, for the longest time, I was doing a lot of streaming on Twitch. But honestly, I haven't streamed in ages. I've been focusing on YouTube. And, but if you want me to, or actually, I've been considering it, streaming on YouTube. I've done a stream or two maybe on YouTube. I know not that many. Certainly not that many. And this can absolutely be one of those games that, I keep installed and do on YouTube just for the fun of it. But I mean, I've got several games that are literally just installed on my computer just for those sorts of purposes, because they're simple games. They're simple but fun games. I'll probably always have Oxygen not included installed on my computer because it's a simple yet, well, simple, but you know, it's one of those games that allows me to, while I'm talking to people, I can do things. I think it's just because I get bored. There's a whole section on like Twitch, and YouTube doesn't really have those sorts of sections for streaming, but it's one of those things of, I'm so bad at literally just the chatting bit. That's what it's called on Twitch, where it's literally you have yourself and like your audience or whoever, along with, sometimes there's people that's where they do like their podcasts, or they have other people with them that they're talking. But I have the friends that I have that do this sort of thing are few and far between, so. Oh. I hate it when it does that. I hate it when it does that. But just the just chatting bit, I'm so bad at that. Because, well, for one, I'm a small, since I'm such a small, like, YouTuber at the current, like, small content creator at the moment, I'm such a, like, it kind of doesn't help. Doesn't help that I'm such a small content creator, so, I don't get as many people in the chat. So when you don't get as many people in the chat, you're just kind of sitting there looking dumb. And I'm good at sitting there and looking dumb. I've done it for years, so, Why did they take away my ability to fly? There was, like, several of them that it was like, okay, you press F to fly now and you can fly. But they were like, okay, we've got this really big thing, like this really big painting, like the wave, the Great Wave it was a huge canvas, but they're like, we're not gonna let you fly on that one. You don't need to fly on that one. It's no, basically. Yeah, I will say there are plenty of games. There are lots of games that I have on my computer that are ones that I'm like, I started playing, like I played once on stream or something like that, and then I just stopped playing it on my own. So like it's saved especially for stream. But there are some of them that are like, nah, I want to keep this like for myself as well. But there are other games like I so wish I could just I'm absolutely loving the game Project Castaway. I'm loving that game. It's great, and it grips my attention, and I'm like playing it for hours at a time. Anytime I do recording sessions for that game, I'm playing it for literally hours. I do like back-to-back like recordings on that one because it's one that holds my attention for the entire, like, for like if you've watched that, if you've watched any of Project Castaway, you'll see my recording times, or not my recording time. You'll see like the save dates. So like I lay down in the bed and it'll say I can save. And then you get like a date and time at which I saved. And I know there's at least one of them that's like 3:30 a.m. that I was, and I didn't feel tired. I was like wide awake and absolutely ingrained in this game because it is certainly one that, like, because, a basic survival game, you can have a good basic survival game, but that one's not just a basic survival game. It really isn't. With all the extra stuff in it, with the like the stories of the other survivors that we read about. That's not that's not something you often get. You do get it on occasion. Those like, yeah, I'm some other guy from either a year close to yours, but like this one being people from a lot of different times. It's really cool to me. And so I'm just hyper focused on that. Dude, I cannot see his eyes. So the figure right here, that's obviously his head. And like one of the like his facial expression, I mean that's what the whole like painting is named after, is his screaming. But why he is screaming, I don't know. Maybe it'll tell me. Maybe it'll tell me why the scream is screaming. I've always wondered why the scream is screaming. For a painting that inspired a lot in the horror movie genre. Yeah, but see, you cannot tell that that's his face. You know, one of the super important parts of this, and you can't tell it's his face. He just kind of is there. It's the there. No longer the scream, it's the there. I tried kimchi for the first time last night. It was good. I don't know why I'm sitting here and I get like a text that's like I'm one of the people I live with that's like I'm stopping by BB Bop, let me know what you want. And oh my god, I hated freaking, I want to be able to go on a website and just look at their menu, like see what they have, and so I can make my decision and like send it to a person. But no, it was like you can't do that. You have to like go onto their ordering system. They're like, if you're getting this, you're getting this. There's no more left of it. Yeah, if you want to get BB Bop, and plenty of other places do this too, you're getting it. You have no decision. You're either getting it or you're getting it. That's it. Bye-bye. Munch painted 4 paintings titled The Scream. There's 4? I mean, I'm curious. But yeah, so if you want to see me play these other, like the Pirate's Treasure, I think this one is also help this winter town regain Christmas sparkle. So that's probably another random. And then these guys, they're literally just a free paint thing. If you want me to do those, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do them during like a stream along with some other games. Otherwise, we are still on our way to 2,500 subscribers. So if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let me know of other games you'd like me to play, and that sort of thing, or other content. We're still doing the tier lists, so content for those. If you have any ideas for those, I have a list, like an ongoing list for that. But I will see you in the next video.